Now on the opposite end of this is Lucas Reichel playing with Bedard. I'm done with him. I'm done with him. I'm so done. That's it. That is absolutely it. I can't. That pass that you mentioned earlier where Bedard makes is amazing because he's looking right at him. That wasn't just like
Right.
a Hail Mary hope that this backhand pass gets to someone in the slot. He's looking right at him. And whether or not Reichel got to that position or he just whiffed on it, or I don't know what it is, but you need to put yourself in that position to be able to know that that's well, A, you're not going to go to the right side because you're in the middle of the ice. B, you're not going to jump to the left side of the ice because you're in the middle of the ice. And C, if Bedard has the puck, why would he go to either one of those sides besides go to the middle of the ice? So, like, it's
Right.
easier for me, an overweight man who's never going to make the NHL, to say, why didn't he think about that? But I sit here and I question, why didn't he think about that? So, um, that's just my questioning of it, and it's not the question like that I thought, oh, to the sewer the fucking guy, but it's like you get a first line opportunity to play with Connor Bedard in the preseason. Like you need to be the one of the best players. Like you need to be a standout guy. And because he wasn't a standout guy, and honestly, he disappeared again in a preseason game, it's like, dude, I'm just done with you. I am so done with this.
Well, and it goes back to something we talked about last week, and it was a point that I made of how many more opportunities are you going to give this guy? Here again,
Yeah.
last night, he gets a prime opportunity to play with Connor Bedard on the top line. And like you said, completely disappears. He disappears harder than Mitch Marner in the first round of the playoffs, okay?
Hey,
Just
he's
kidding.
good games 1 through 4.
I'm just kidding. But at some point, like we talked about last week, you're gonna have to figure it out. If you get to play with one of the most skilled players on your team and you still don't know where to go on the ice or figure it out, like at least do something to help your team like get on the scoreboard. I'm not saying you got to
Yeah.
score goals, you got to get assists. There are other ways that you contribute to your team without getting on the score sheet.
Listen, Chris Kunitz made his career by just going to the net and planting his stick for Sidney Crosby to put it on there and go in the net. That's literally all Chris Kunitz. Guess what? Chris Kunitz is on this staff. So Reichel could literally just ask him what he did to be
He's
successful.
he's a Blackhawks legend.
I love Chris Coon. I've actually talked to Chris Kunitz a couple times actually. Not like actually outside of a random hockey thing. I met him at some like media situation and it had nothing to do with hockey. And I was just talking with him about something random. I was like, I don't think it wasn't about hockey either. I knew who he was. Obviously, he didn't know who I was, but it was just a random conversation. And I was like, by the way, big fan of you in Pittsburgh. And I was like, congrats on the career. And he was like, wait, you know who I was? I was like, yeah. You're Chris fucking Kunitz. But yeah, that's not here or there. But anyway, but my point being, I just pulled the greatest analogy for Lucas Reichel. Just ask. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's easier said than done to just ask to be good. But like I don't know. I'm just done with it. I'm just so done. I'm just this we honestly should be here right now. He shouldn't be on this team. He should have been traded and now he's gonna get traded for peanuts, if not just in the AHL. And that's it. I mean, like I know it's
Yep.
and that's the overreaction part, right, of this whole thing, but it's like
Mhm.
I mean, how else are we supposed to react but not like it's like opening up the fridge and you have spilled milk in there and then you just close the fridge and hope that it's gone when you open it up again. And it's like, oh no, it's still here. Oh,
Here,
damn.
I got the perfect trade idea for you.
Okay.
Lucas Reichel to San Jose for
Okay.
Philip Kurashev.
Can we talk about that really quick? Okay. I understand that Kurashev was literally just a Bedard merchant and that he
Mhm.
was that, but sometimes if you have a guy who works with somebody, maybe just keep them with them. I mean, like Matt Molson left John Tavares and was just a career AHLer. And that's what that was. But every time he had, I think he had, I don't know, so I'm just guessing. I think he had like 300 and something career NHL points, and I'm almost positive 300 of them came with John Tavares. Um, so like, some players are just made to be with a guy. And I thought that Kurashev was great with Connor Bedard in the time that he was here. But, I don't know. I know he didn't work out with literally anybody else, but that's
So
I
I
don't know.
was curious. I had to look this up. Matt Molson actually had 369 career points.
Oh, dude, I just guessed. I just guessed he had
Oh, no, I know.
370.
No, no, no,
That's
I know.
crazy.
I was just curious. And 223 of those came with the Islanders.
Dude, I literally just guessed. That was just on the top of the
I know.
dome.
No, you had me curious though. I was thinking about that and I'm like,
But what
because
time is it?
I
Game time. That's what that is.
that is the cringiest shit I've ever heard right there. Don't ever fucking do that again.
It's a Bulls reference. That's a Bulls reference in the
I know.
90s. Whatever the fuck
Yeah,
game time. Whatever, man. Whatever,
I
man.
guess you watched too much of The Last Dance, I guess. One too many
Listen,
times, eh?
I've watched that like 8 times. So yeah, yeah, I've watched it too
It's
many
good
times. It's
because
great.
it's good.
It's so good. Anyway, with
But back to yeah,
my amazing callback to Matt Molson and John DeVar. Now that's a pull. Now that's a pull. I might
that's a
record
pull.
this just so I could have it on record that I pulled that out of my ass and guessed the
You
right
should
the
send that to Matt Molson and get him on the podcast.
I just can't believe I just almost guessed his career points and almost guessed exactly the amount of points he had with John Tavares. Anyway, but yeah, you get what I'm saying with Kurashev though.
Yeah,
Like I think that's whatever. I mean, I understand. Maybe you want somebody who does a little bit more for you on any other line and not just completely disappear. Do you know what? Who would you rather have, Kurashev or Reichel? Does it matter? I guess not.
I mean, to that point though, because I feel like Kurashev was basically, and I use this term loosely, given the shaft. I mean, considering he played here, he started out his career basically in Rockford, worked his way up to be able to get into the NHL with the Blackhawks. He has
Yeah.
one bad year, and all of a sudden it's the end of the world. But we're going to give Lucas Reichel his 25th or so opportunity, and we're just going to shaft Kurashev. I do not understand that for the life of me.
He wasn't a Kyle Davidson guy. He wasn't a Kyle Davidson guy. I don't think he was drafted by Kyle Davidson.
No, I think the last player that got drafted by Bowman was that. Trying to think. Last notable
Nolan
draft pick,
Allen.
if I'm wrong. Nolan Allen. Okay.
Yeah.
I
So I think
yeah.
that that's why he got the shaft was just he wasn't a Kyle Davidson guy and he has a mold for a team that he wants to build and your first I don't even know if Reichel's his now Reichel is his guy.
If that hasn't been made apparently known, it is.
Yeah.
And if Kyle Davidson wants to come on our podcast and get ripped apart for this, I'm all for it. I'll be nice and respectful about it. But I don't know how you can sit here in this day and age, right here, right now, on September 24th, 2025, and say that Lucas Reichel is not a Kyle Davidson guy.
Who knows? I mean, we're gonna see what happens. If he I don't know what you even get him for. It's useless. I'm so down on him. That sucks. It sucks,
So
but I'm so down on him.
I guess my question to you is what's the over under for the amount of games before Blashill decides to get him to the moon and send him to Rockford? You thinking 10?
I don't think he makes the team.
I would be all in favor of that. Please, for my
Yeah.
sanity.
I honestly think if he doesn't make this team, they might do something where they just say, I mean, he's young enough to you want to keep the asset, but at the same time,
Because
if
is
he's
he
not
waiver
making,
eligible?
I don't know. I don't know that answer, but um my thing is that
Nobody wants him either.
they might terminate his contract and just let him do what he wants to do and sign somewhere else. But he's young enough to where you might not want to do that. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is with him, and I don't think the Blackhawks know what the answer is with him either. So